Right after we signed the definitive agreements, we called Chairman Pai and we called the other commissioners.
Did he take your call?
Of course.
What did he say?
Course. He said he's going to keep an open mind, because our question was, we want to give you a heads up. We want you to keep an open mind about this transaction, and we're immediately coming down to meet with you and meet with the rest of people that are interested in Washington.
All right. That was... I'm just drawing a blank here. The T-Mobile chairman talking about Ajit Pai of the FCC and trying to bounce off his plan to merge with Sprint. It would be better than $26 billion pairing. Will it go through? There are a lot of others that are sort of waiting at the gates here. Charlie Gasparino, the Bilkin Conference, what he's hearing right now. What do you got, bud?
And I draw a blank on that guy's name as well a lot. It's John Ledger, I believe. But in any event, here's what we got. Here's what we got from basically from people inside the Trump DOJ. I'm sorry, my earpiece is popping out here. Is that that T-Mobile and sources inside T-Mobile and Sprint, that they are optimistic about the deal, but they can see that the merger will not be a slam dunk with the DOJ. And here's what they're worried about, Neil. Mainly, it's not the political guys, like the antitrust chief, Malcolm Delaram. It's not the people that are more free market inside the Trump DOJ antitrust division. They are worried about the career guys, the career gals, the career DOJ antitrust lawyers who will make us think about this deal. As you know, this deal has been rejected in the past, in the Obama administration. Some of those career people are still in the DOJ. So while T-Mobile and Sprint, the executives are very optimistic that the Trump DOJ, much more free market oriented, much more worried about mergers like the AT&T Time Warner deal, which, you know, they believe is much more problematic from a consumer standpoint than this deal. They do worry that they're going to have to push this through with the career people and force it through. That doesn't mean it won't happen. They are, what I would say, is cautiously optimistic, but it's those career types that have scuttled this deal in the past that the people at T-Mobile and Sprint and Mr. Ledger are worried about. One other thing we should point out is that the AT&T Time Warner deal trial is over. That's the government's attempt to break it up. Even if the government loses this, I think there is a very good chance this thing carries on, and I'll tell you why. It's very clear that Mr. Delaram, the antitrust chief, has told his staff to at least prepare an appeal of the case. That doesn't mean they'll definitely do it, but I'm hearing that Mr. Delaram is indicating to people that they have to prepare an appeal, and it's not just a pro forma thing. That he is leaning towards appealing this if they lose. And I'll tell you, Neil, that will have major implications for this deal. Let's just say AT&T wins, right? No conditions attached. They win, and then the government appeals as the deal comes together. Well, guess what? You go before the D.C. Circuit Court, appellate court, very liberal court, which could upend the deal. So it becomes a risk factor for investors if you're buying this, if you're buying Time Warner, which essentially will go up if this deal gets approved. So this is a mess. It could get even messier if there's an appeal. And from what I'm hearing coming out of Trump DOJ, that Mr. Delaram is telling people, prepare for an appeal. That doesn't mean he'll definitely do it, but they're making noises. You know, a lot of people think it maybe is a way to get AT&T to agree to some other concessions because they don't want to go through the process of an appeal, holding up the deal, more deal risk. But that's where we are right now. It's a fascinating thing. I don't think we're going to be hearing the end of AT&T Time Warner, even if the government loses this case. And I guess the decision comes down in July or June, right? I mean, you guys might have the date handy, but I think it's June.
All right, definitely this summer. Real quickly on the T-Mobile Sprint thing here, the argument against the past, and these guys have gone to the altar at least 3 times in the past, that we don't want to live with fewer than 4 wireless carriers. We would have 3 if this went through.
Right.
It does that, even in this technology advanced stage, hold?
Depends on who you talk to. The political types inside the Trump Justice Department, I think Mr. Delaram would say, we think we can live with 3, with maybe some conditions. It is the career people. Do they sway him to say, listen, we need 4 for various reasons? And there will be a debate inside the Trump Justice Department about this. I will say this. What's positive about this, for if you're Sprint or T-Mobile, is that at least there's going to be a debate. There are people inside the Trump Justice Department, Mr. Delaram, maybe Don Kemp, maybe the more free market types, that will argue, like, listen, technology is such, the game is 5G, prices have been coming down on wireless. we're fighting yesterday's war. They will argue that. You will get career people inside the Trump Justice Department, the lawyers saying, well, not so fast. Here's why this could really hurt consumers when you have 3 instead of 4. There will be a debate. In the Obama Justice Department, there probably wouldn't be a debate. I think they feel comfortable, meaning both companies feel comfortable rolling the dice, knowing that you have Malcolm Delarims and Don Kemps and people like that.